Anyway, as we said earlier, moving on, Zain Bhikha is here in the building. Before he joins us for a chat, let's take a look at his brand new video. This is Zain Bhikha's new song and it's called Someday.
I see your face across the place that's burning. By the fire of work we fear the most. Where is the rain that brings the mercy? Shower down and drench us to the bone. I dream of the day we'll look into each other's eyes. I dream of the way we'll see the same sunset.
Wow, assalamu alaikum and good evening, Mr. Zain Bhikha. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much
for joining us.
Thank you so much for
Welcome back,
having me.
we should say, on Living the Life.
I
I
know.
think third time you've been on now?
Yeah, quite a few times. Actually, I was here last time for the GPU.
That's right,
Oh, wow.
mashallah.
Well,
Fantastic.
it's great to have you back, not just in on Living Life, but in the UK as well. And of course, it's not your first time to the UK, is it?
Yeah, well, you know, the UK out of South Africa is my most supported area, let me put it that way. So I have a lot of support from here. It's good to come back, always good to come back.
You know, I don't even know. You're probably gonna kill me now for this question. Are South Africa in the World Cup?
No,
Oh, you
unfortunately,
didn't qualify?
we didn't. We didn't. You know, most of our players, I think, just the easy life, overweight. You know, just oh man, it's a sad story. Let me put it that way.
So are you managing to get any of the World Cup fever while you're here? Because I know you're on
You
tour
know,
and you're very busy on tour.
The problem is we haven't watched a single game, like start to finish. So we're catching the highlights. But I must say it's been an interesting World Cup. I mean, you know, the last one was in our country.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's very different this time around.
Yeah.
Now, of course, switching gears, you're here, of course, for the Orphans Tour at the moment, right? And that's what, and you're here supporting the charity Human Appeal, of
Yes.
course, right? Can you tell us a little bit about how that's going so far?
Well, you know, the thing is that it's my 20th anniversary. So since my very, very first cassette that I did way back in 1994, and I partnered with Human Appeal, I thought, you know, let me celebrate the 20 years with a special anniversary DVD and CD. And they arranged a 20-city tour to kind of match the two. And this is our last few days, and it's going to be quite amazing. It's been quite amazing. And I must say thank you to Human Appeal for really going out of their way to take us all over the UK and, you know, see so many cities. I've been to places I never heard of, like Chesham.
Chesham, it's
I
true.
never realised there's a place called Chesham.
Yeah. You know,
It's a lovely place, Chesham, actually. It's very
lovely
at the top of the
community.
Metropolitan line.
Lovely community.
It really is.
I mean, mashallah, you mentioned 20th. I'm going to come back to you in a second to ask you about your album, your new album, because it's a 20th anniversary album. But a lot of people don't know, you know, how it all started. 20 years ago, of course, you did that tape, you put those ideas of a song, and of course, you sent it to?
Well, you know, I done the tape. I didn't have any expectation, and of course, it made its way to the UK, to Yusuf Islam.
To Yusuf Islam.
And Yusuf Islam heard it, and you know, I'm very, very fortunate that he wanted to work with me. And I think really up until that point, my songs were mostly in South Africa. But then, you know, alhamdulillah, through Yusuf Islam's influence, I did Ace for Allah with him, and that allowed my voice to travel the world, you know.
Now, you're performing with some other artists at the moment. In fact, after this show, in fact, you're going to be performing in London tonight. And you're performing for such a wonderful cause, which is orphans, of course. That must feel so good. It must mean something really strongly for you.
Yeah, well, coming from South Africa, you know, a lot of my songs, some of my best songs are highlighting the plight of, you know, those less fortunate. If you look at My Mom is Amazing or The Orphan Child, songs like Our World. So for me, coming from Southern Africa, where we have so many orphans because of HIV/AIDS, it's really wonderful to partner with an organization dealing specifically with that, you know, alhamdulillah.
You know, mashallah, I travel around a fair bit in the Muslim community, and that song, My Mum is Amazing, it seems to be the staple diet song for kids who want to come up and perform. If they want to come up and perform a song every time, it's, I'm going to perform My Mum is Amazing, and mashallah, and they sing it. It's such a beautiful testament to you, alhamdulillah. Now, I said I was going to come back and talk about your new album. Of course, we've got a copy of it here.
We have a copy of it right here.
It's called Songs for a Soul. Where did you get the name from, and what inspired it? I mean, 20 years, we know that, mashallah, but what about the name, Songs for a Soul?
Well, I was thinking about, you know, these are the best songs that I've done over the last 20 years. And really, most of the songs are self-composed, so they're really coming from within myself. And I really feel that's what art is about. It's taking a piece of yourself and presenting it to the world and saying, this is who I am, these are my feelings, my ideas. So Songs of a Soul really came from that point of view that this is from myself and I hope that you can resonate with it. And most human beings may not understand the circumstances of why you wrote the songs, but they can understand the emotion, because emotion binds us all, you know.
That's fantastic. And of course, we've got a chance to give away. We're going to be giving away this copy of your CD today. Why are we giving away a copy of your CD?
Well, we thought, to any lucky listener or watch a viewer, it's a combination. It's a CD as well as a DVD. We've got the set, which we're giving away a signed copy.
Do you know what I'm interested in, Zain? 20 years writing songs. We're going to ask you to sign this now for our guest. But 20 years writing songs. I mean, don't you kind of like burn out on ideas? Like you said, well, I've written about Makkah, I've written about the mums, I've written about orphans, I've written about the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, I've written... How do you keep getting new inspiration for new songs and new ideas?
I think it's a very good question, because as you get older, I suppose from a melody perspective and even thematic perspective, you do second guess yourself. I suppose when you're younger, you have everything is new. But generally, I think songs should be a extension of your journey of spiritual growth. It shouldn't be your life. It should be an extension of your thoughts and ideas and feelings. So if I think we're growing as human beings spiritually, then your songs can develop accordingly, It's kind of, the two should be together,
Okay, well, we're going to ask you to sign this.
Yes.
There's your CD. Now, I think
Thank
we
you
have...
so
do you
much.
have a pen
Yes,
with
I
you?
do. I do.
That's very,
fantastic.
very organised of you, Zain. Like, we were scrambling around here,
We
weren't
were. I was looking for a pen to get him to sign it with, but
Looking for a
luckily
pen.
he's got one right there.
Well,
Perfect.
look, as you sign that, if you'd like to be in with a chance of winning this signed CD by Zain Bhikha, all you have to do is answer one simple question.
For a chance to win a signed copy of Zain Bhikha's brand new album, answer the following question. What is the name of Zain Bhikha's new album? A. Songs of a Mind. B. Songs of a Soul. C. Songs of a Heart. Send us your answer A, B or C together with your full name and contact number to ltl@islamchannel.tv. Entrance without these details will not be included. One winner will be chosen at random from all correct entries. Competition closes at midnight tonight. Entries made after this will not be counted. For full terms and conditions, visit www.islamchannel.tv.
Wow,
There we
that's
go.
a tough question, I've got to say. Especially when you get the answer right there in front of you. Get those answers in quickly. You've got an excellent chance to win a signed copy of Zain Bhikha CD. So, Zain, before we move on, I wanted to ask you one more question, right? Obviously, you've been performing for such a long time, and mashallah, you had a brilliant beginning, such an exciting beginning to you, an inspiring beginning to your career. What's been the single best moment of your career so far, of the 20 years?
That's a question, man.
That's a loaded question.
That's a question. That's a loaded question.
I think there's been too many, but I think...
It's coming on Living the Life, of course.
Yeah, of course.
I think probably I have these unique moments almost every day when, I think Rahim mentioned earlier, when a young child comes up to me and knows the words of my songs. That's probably the greatest satisfaction I can get, because I never imagined that I would be writing these songs back home in South Africa and a child in the UK or anywhere else I travel in the world, and they know those words that came from my thoughts and my experiences. That's probably the most beautiful thing that I can ever experience.
Fantastic.
Well, we're going to be joined in a moment by one of your...